from Joel a couple of weeks ago. How do you make your videos so good? Well, the good news is all you need is a camera and PowerPoint. And for the rest, my tutorial comes just after the jump.
Hi everyone. I'm struggling a little bit doing that tutorial tonight, I must say. But that's my second time. I'm struggling with the animation. And to be honest with you, it's always like that. You see a video of 2 3 minutes, and in fact, it just takes ages to make. Hence, a lot of vloggers being late and behind schedules and not posting on a regular basis. It just takes so much time. But there you go. I was about to say that, or I was saying previously that this video is going to be a vomit of a video because I've changed my mind as regard to the design I'm aiming at, and you will see the results later on. I'll post a second video, two for the price of one for this week. And I changed completely everything, the background, the titles, the music, and so on and so forth. And I wanted to start from scratch, and then I realized, oh, it's going to be a mess. The last video was already 35 minutes. We're not going to start again. So I undid what I had undid and redid what I had undid, if that makes sense. So we end up where we started or where we finished last time. It already doesn't make sense. But there you go. So, last time we had done the two titles. If you remember the first slide with the opening credit, the two titles, the animation, the music. We had left the second slide for the video. And we had dealt instead with the rolling credit with its music overlapping with the fourth slide, which was the GIF with the date and so on and so forth. So today what we must do is the signature, the video, and the frame. And I'm doing that for the second time, so have mercy, God, make it work. Anyway, so what I call signature in the first place are those cool little phrases and messages that appear on the screen. You remember the series Your Green Bill, and you've got often on the top left hand side that little rectangle with the drop down message, you're watching Your Green Bill. Totally pointless if you ask me, because you exactly know what you're watching and I know what I'm showing you. But I like to show off. I like to show off what I know, and I think it looks cool, so I put it anyway. So that's the first thing that I'm going to show you how I did, how to do. You can change the design. So you go to Insert to the top left hand side. And here to the right, you've got text box. So you need to click on it and you are going to design a text box. If you click maybe just on the edge, you don't have to do that. And right click, you go to format shape. And I like to put a solid fill, but I'm going to put again a white one. And I'm going to make it 50% transparent. I'm going to in fact recreate exactly or almost exactly the same you're watching Your Green Bill, just to show you how it works. But again, you can come up with your own design. Now, once you've done that, you can right click inside, put edit text, and we're going to put instead, this is body and soul, since that's the title for this time of this video. So there you go. I'm going to change the size of it. I think I'd put it actually on something like 36, that might 28 maybe. So maybe enlarge that a little bit. We are going to highlight this thing and we to kind of highlight in color. Why not purple? And to make it a in italic. So that's it. That's the frame. Okay. Then we want to add an animation. So we're going to click on the edge of that rectangle again. We're going to go to animation and we are going to say that just like for you watching your green bill, we are going to make it a drop kind of thing. That's drop if you check, right? We had done something pretty similar. I can't remember where. I think that was for the rolling credit. That's exactly the same principle. And again, just like for the rolling credit last time, you might find that it's too slow. So if you look at the right hand side, the duration, we're going to make it maybe 75 cents of a second, whatever. Once it has appeared, I want it to disappear. So I click again on the edge and I'm saying I'm going to add an animation, which you can see rather on the right of the format tab here. So I'm adding an animation and I want it this time to disappear once it has appeared and I had time to read it. So I'm going to more exit effect, and the one I used is dissolve out. So that's it, it has dissolved out. But between the moment when it appears, when it drops, and the moment when it dissolves out, we need people to have time to read it, so we need at least a 2 seconds delay, I suppose. Let's make it a 2 seconds delay. And for the dissolving, we're going to make it 75 cents of a second as well. I'm going to close that just to make a little bit of more room. So if you look at the preview, that looks like this. It's still a little bit too slow if you ask me. Maybe 50 cents. So if I click here again and I'm going to make it 50, and if I click here again, I'm going to make it 50. That's it. Okay, let's save it from time to time. Right, so we've got that. Now the second thing that we need is to insert the video when I give all my sound advice. So for the video, that's easy. You take your mobile phone, you film yourself, you enter what you filmed into the computer, and you end up basically with this. If I go to the right hand side here, I'm going to show you very quickly. It's on my PC, so I press video on my PC. You end up with all those films, those bits of films, or one sometimes, depends. I had to cut several times. And what I did, because I was constantly having it wrong, reading my script wrong, I wasn't able to string two sentences together. I had to edit it using a Movie Maker, which is there. So for Movie Maker, I'm not going to go to the whole process. It's a very, well, I closed it. I closed it. What a shame. I could try to reopen it. I think it's somewhere here. There you go. It might take a few seconds. But the bottom line is it's very easy to use. You can go on tutorial on YouTube and you press that button here. You import the videos. Once it's done, I think you go on view or edit. In fact, for that matter, there will be an edit tab appearing and you can snip and delete the bits that you do not like. Make sure that you press on the bit that you want to delete before deleting. Don't delete what you do not want to delete. If it happens, you can always go to the left hand side here and undo your mistake. And once you're happy with the results, basically you go to home, and where you see on the right hand side here save movie, it's not very clear because I haven't imported any videos, but it will be clear and very visible when you import your own videos. You press that button and you save as recommended. That's it. All right, so I'll minimize it and I'll close it, in fact, because I don't think I'll need it anymore. So you end up, once you've edited all your frames, you end up with this one, which is the one which I'm inserting now. There you go. It's coming any second, hopefully. Any seconds if you're being patient. Remember, I've got an old computer. You might be hearing the fan working really hard to keep the machine cool. That is it. That's coming. And I'm going to basically shrink it a little bit like this and move it so that there's some kind of of font a little bit. The final product won't look at all like that, I must say. I've added a frame because I wasn't happy with the results. Now here I'm going to press on the side of my video. I'm going to right click and I'm going to send backwards, not to the back, because otherwise it will be hidden behind the background photo of the 3 feet, but send backwards, that is to say behind the title, "This is your body and soul." Right. Before I put the bookmarks, I'm going to now design. So we've got the signature, which is this is body and soul. We've got the video here, and we need to draw a frame now. So the frame insert, it's almost the same. It could have been a text box actually, but I'm using shape here, a rectangle. I design a rectangle here, very easy, pressing the left button of my mouse and moving. I'm changing the color, so I right click, I change the color for orange for that matter. Uh, Simply because I changed the icon. I've got some kind of Buddha now as a symbol on the final product, and he so happened to be dressed in orange and black. So the outline here, the line, in fact, I'm going to change blue for black. And that is it. That should be enough. Perfect. Now what I need to do, I need to right click again and I'm going to edit text. And my video has moved from 5 tips to 8 tips in order to have a good night of sleep. So I'm going to simply write tip. I mean, normally I summarize all the tips that I mentioned, but I don't need to do that now, otherwise it takes ages. I can increase why not? Yeah, I can increase the size, why not to 40, and just to keep the color scheme to not too many colors, I'm going to put it black again like my monk. And I'm going to number them, and then that's tip number 1, tip number 4, but it goes normally to 8. So that's it. Now, that frame, I want it to dissolve in. So I click on the side, I go to animation, click down here. You know how to do it now. That's dissolving, and hopefully at some point it will dissolve in. And then each one of my tips are going to float in magically as I speak. So that's the first one, that's the second one, that's the third one, and that's the fourth one. That's it. So far, so good. Happy people. Now this is when I started again. This is the second time I do this video because I must say, guys, I say it one more time. It just takes ages to edit and to do those things. It lasts like 5 minutes, but it takes absolutely ages. And I always get mixed with the triggers and so on. It's a real mess, and it was a few minutes ago. This is why I had to stop the whole thing and start again, and I'm already fed up. But never mind, I'll do it for you. I like to share. I've learned from others. It's my turn to try to give to the community. So I've got more or less all, and we are going to basically do exactly what we did last time with the bookmark and the trigger. You remember, for the opening credit, when the music starts and reach a certain moment, the title raise magically. We're going to do the same for the signature. This is body and soul, and the different tips. Let's try again. So I'm playing my video, going to play back on the top right. Sorry, let's start again. And here I stop and I say, okay, I want my signature, this is body and soul, to appear here. Right. Okay. And then I continue my video, and the moment I'm going to cut the sound, because otherwise we're not going to hear a lot. And the moment when I'm going to say, for example, tip number one, I'm going to stop it. No, sorry. And the second animation that I want is that frame basically dissolving in. So another bookmark for this one, once I'm approaching the mentioning of the tips. And I carry on a little bit. I'm not going to bore you, but you get the idea. And when I reach tip number one, I put another bookmark, because the summary of that tip number one will float in my orange rectangle. And same with the third or the second tip, and the fourth, and the fifth, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, I put them here by chance, but obviously, I would listen normally to the video and put the bookmark in the correct order. So there you go, guys. So I'm returning to my signature. This is body and soul. Click on the edge. Hopefully that will work. Animation. And I want it to be triggered on bookmark 1. And here, guys, I wonder whether this is where I did my mistake, because I can you see here on the left hand side? I wonder, maybe that's a mistake that I've done. I wonder if bookmark 1 is not the trigger of the video automatically. That might be, how many bookmarks have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that looks right. So here, let's start again. This one here, the trigger, that's bookmark 1. Normally at bookmark 1, the signature starts. For this one here, that should be bookmark 2. Trouble here is that we have got, for bookmark 2, all those little things, which is wrong. So this one here, I'm going to try. I'm not sure this is going to work. It worked in the final product, but again, very frustrating. You have got to play a little bit with it. That should be trigger for bookmark 4. You see here it's on bookmark 2, and I have no idea. Oh yeah, bookmark 4. That should be trigger for bookmark 5. And this one here should be trigger for bookmark 6. I'm going to save the thing just in case there's a problem, but I pray the gods that this is going to work. You just have to play with it, guys. If it doesn't work, I'm not starting again. I'm sorry about it. It works eventually, but you've got to. Sometimes I just can't even explain. I manipulate the thing, and it ends up working. I have no idea why. So let's see how it plays. Normally, what we should do when we go to slideshow, current slide, we should have the video starting automatically, the this is body and soul dropping down and dissolving, and then the orange rectangle dissolving in, and then gradually the 4 tips appearing like magic. Let's try, guys. Right. Let's end up, because for a start, it doesn't seem to be appearing magically. So click here, playback. Does it start? No, we want automatically. Let's save it again. Hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll try again. We will try again. Now normally there's a problem with text box 7. I can see there's going to be a problem, because normally the red thing, oh, unless, oh no, maybe that's normal. Right, let's see. Right, okay, slideshow, let's see if it works. No, sorry, my mistake. I want from a current slide, which is there. Current slide. All right, okay. For some reason, this is not working. I cut the sound, so that's quite natural. That's normal. I'd cut the sound. Let's see if when it reach bookmark 2, let's see whether the thing is going to appear. The orange rectangle. No, the orange rectangle is not coming. Look, guys, worst tutorial ever, I must admit, but I'm throwing the towel. If you keep on manipulating, that will work. I have no idea why this is not working. Um, this is just the way it is, really. I don't understand. Oh, well, the trigger seems to have disappeared for a start. All the triggers seems to have disappeared. God knows why. Right. God knows why. So one last time, I might be the only one left standing. You might have stopped the YouTube video. If you haven't, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Um, so we're on animation. That's trigger number 1. That's trigger number 2. That's trigger number 3. Number 4. Number 5. And number 6. All right, let's save the thing again. Now, in the animation panel, everything seems to have changed. And I do not know why we've got that stopping thing here. That sounds bizarre to me, but let's try. Let's see what happens. First, okay, so that's moving. Let's see if the first one is dropping. Yes, thank God for that. I couldn't explain why it worked this time. Let's see if the orange thing goes. Please make it dissolving any seconds now. Please, 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 please. Yes, thank you very much. This is happening. God knows why. And if we could have tip 1, 2, 3 appearing, that's brilliant. Excellent. Right. Okay, I'm fed up. Okay, right. I suppose that if we look, yeah, can you see the next one is going to appear now? Yes, and so on and so forth. Look at the bottom of the screen if I can make it work. Yes, third bookmark or next bookmark is appearing. There you go, and so on and so forth. Right, okay, fine, perfect. We'll call it today because it's working. We're in luck, and so on and so forth. Well, do you know what, happy people? We have made it together, and together we have seen what a pain in the neck it can be to do those videos. So please give the thumb up because we deserved it. Subscribe if you haven't, And that is it. The rest you have done it yourself. I just have to say ciao ciao.